Hello, and welcome to the Passion on Purpose Leaders on Center Stage podcast. I am Steph, and I'm the owner and creative director at VIM. VIM's mission is to showcase the enthusiasm and passion of business leaders nationwide. I cannot wait to have you listen to the show and stick around. At the end, we talk a little bit about how you can be my next guest. All right, we have Evan Tzivanakis.
Perfect. Yeah.
We practiced that several times. So I have Evan Tzivanakis on the show with us today. Evan is with Executive Coach Asia, and I am so excited. We had a little time before this to chat a little bit about what you do, and I'm just going to kind of throw the ball at you and have you introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Nice to see you, Steph, and honor to be here. What I do, yes, I am an executive coach, and a lot of people still don't know what is an executive coach. I work with leaders, managers, C-suites, and business owners on either one-on-one or with their teams, leadership development, management, and all that. I am also a management consultant to a couple of companies, and I am also an online visiting lecturer at the EU Business School in Geneva, Switzerland. A little bit about myself, I studied in the UK. I studied in Switzerland, and as soon as I graduated, I was an employee, and then after becoming an employee, I was promoted after a couple of years to a team leader, then a manager. After that, I was headhunted, and I helped develop one of the financial brokers in Asia. I have opened their offices specifically in the Asia Pacific region. So I became a director, and then I became a CEO. And then after that, I decided to work for myself, and I decided to, share my knowledge, share my passion, share, my mistakes, share my good things and my bad things. And throughout my career, I think I managed more than 500 employees across eight countries. And I led companies to expand, especially across the Asia Pacific region, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and all that. And I think what was most successful for me was that I did that by successfully creating the right company culture and leading people from the front.
Yes.
So with that kind of practical experience alongside my academic qualifications, I now help executive leaders and companies to enhance, to develop their leadership presence, have more engaged teams, increase profits, and at the same time, live a happier life. And I do that by offering what I believe, are some of the most educational, transformational coaching and training solutions. So my niche, if you can call it niche, it's executive leadership, sales development, management, business development. So I like to call myself a practitioner, which means I can't teach something I've never done. So I can't I can't teach anything, or SEO is not my expertise. So I just, teach and train people based on what I have practically done. Yeah.
I love that. And how do people work with you? Like, is it all digital? Do you do in person? How does that look?
Well, for the last couple of years, I guess 90% is digital.
Yeah.
Even when I'm in the country and, the client is in the same country, it could be digital, and maybe the final session, or maybe we'll meet up for a coffee. But it looks like everyone is quite comfortable nowadays. It's mainly digital, yes, 90%, yeah, which is good. I mean, yeah, I know we had some couple of challenging years, with the lockdowns, with insecurity, a lot of people fear, but I think for me it worked quite well in terms of my profession. Everything kind of turned digital, yeah.
Right. So my audience is, always growing, but I'm here in the United States. And so I guess a big saturation point of my audience is going to be from the US, Canada, things of that nature.
Yeah.
They can work with you, correct? Like you're definitely working all around the world with professionals and executives who are needing this leadership training.
Yes. I have a lot of Canadian clients. I have clients from Australia, from Asia. That's why Executive Coach Asia. How I started Executive Coach Asia back in 2017 is I was in Asia, I was in Singapore, and I had enough a little bit working for other people,
Yeah.
And so I said, I want to do something for myself. And then I decided to start coaching and training people. So I went and I became accredited certified executive coach. And then I started Executive Coach Asia. I did it for SEO purposes. So if you go and type Executive Coach Asia, the website will come up.
So smart. Yeah.
Well, it's not. It wasn't my thought. I was reading, online how to, names for your website and all that. Initially, I tell you, I had my name, but my name is a little bit difficult to pronounce and maybe to spell.
Yes.
So yeah, all on GoDaddy. So I went to GoDaddy and then I bought a new domain, executivecoachasia.com. It was available, and then I changed from evantzivanakis.com to Executive Coach Asia.
I love it. Yeah, we do
Yes.
have to get, you have to get really creative, but you also want to be authentic to what you do and who you are and be clear. So it is this, you really have to get creative with names and URLs and social media handles. So I'm glad it's working so well for you. So to leave a corporate job and to take under your wings a lot of other executives and businesses, right, who have a variety of different what they do, different industries, different reasons for what they do. You clearly have to have passion. Tell me where that comes from for you, and like what is your true passion behind coaching, and specifically executive leadership coaching?
Yeah, executive leadership is challenging because I'm dealing with high net worth individuals, people that they're decision makers. So it's not easy. But again, this is my needs. This is what I've done, and I really love it. I love the challenge. And how I started is I didn't want to work. Back in 2017, I said, okay, I have 10 years corporate experience because I started my first company. I started in the UK when I was 25 years old. So after kind of 12 years, I said, I want to do something different. I don't want to report to, I just want to do my thing. So I always believed in good leadership and good management, and how I describe leadership. I always say that leadership is a bit like the chocolate fountain. You go to the weddings, in the middle, you see that chocolate fountain, the chocolate fondue.
Yes.
Right. So it's either at the end of the buffet or in the middle, right? When you go to those weddings. So chocolate flows from the top, right?
Right.
So if everything is good from the top, everything will flow and it will taste nice.
Yes.
So I do believe that the fish stinks from the head. So with that analogy, I started it because I can see, if you walk into a restaurant and you see that the staff are rude, are moody, there is something wrong. It's either the manager doesn't care, the pay is not right, the culture is not right. And maybe, you go to a hotel or something and you see the receptionist and the staff when they are welcoming you and they're polite and they smile. I can feel that something else good is happening behind.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
with that passion and the fact that, we spend 8, 10, 12 hours at work every day, work is our identity, right? And this is where I started. I said, work is our identity. I don't want to see managers bringing, how many, if you're listening to this and you're a manager, I'm sure there were days like me where you bring your frustrations at home and you shout at your kids or your partner.
Yep.
So, or you scream at your 3 years old because they split their milkshake, and you're tired all day from work. It happened. So This is where I started. This is how it started. And it's not an easy journey. I actually started without a plan B.
Oh, you just went for it.
I just went for it. And I got accredited. And then I started, step by step. And then I did a lot of business development, a lot of, calling my previous clients and introducing what I do again and again. And then one thing rolled to another, and my heart was in it. That's why, if your passion is it, you don't only need passion, you need technical skills as well and all that, but your heart should be in it, because I think if your heart is in it, when tough days will, of course you're going to have tough days, difficult days that you don't feel like it. If your why is big enough, you're going to stick to it. If not, you're just going to throw the towel.
What is your why?
Yeah, my why is because my why. I believe in good leadership. My why, I believe in good leadership. I believe in good management. I don't want to work for people. I just want to enjoy myself with my family. And all that. So that's my why. That's my why. And I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. And the other why is that I want to give. I feel like I want to give. What I know. Is not always right, but I want to share my mistakes. I
Uh,
Before I actually started this, I closed the company.
yeah,
I started something else, and then I closed it because I partner up with the wrong person. So that's another failure which I use when I do my business coaching on how to use the right partner.
yes, 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 yes. Well, and
So
I
my
love,
wife, I don't want to work for any, I want to work for myself, and I want to give, in that niche. And I believe, as I said, work becomes our identity, and especially when it comes to management. And you know,
yeah. Well, I love that you have, your why was multifaceted, right? So you believe in good leadership, you want to help, right? Leaders see that they are at the top and they lead down to beginning. But I also love that you have your why of I want to give, because I agree with you, right? Our work does truly become our entity in so much ways. But if we take work aside and we look at you, Evan, as, maybe a father or a husband or a boyfriend or whomever or whatever, I bet you that giving is super immersed in your world, right? If you're at a dinner table and there's one roll left, are you taking it? No, probably not. You're probably going to give it to whoever you're eating with, because that's your depth of that why, or of that giving, right? Tell me, is that true? Does that bleed pretty on it, like pretty true?
yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, look, if I'm hungry, I'll probably take it. I don't know, actually, but it's I guess people change. When I was in England, I was 25 years old. I got promoted. I opened my own office. I wasn't associated with the company, but in essence, I was self-employed. So my ego was really high. I was 25 and I was managing people who were 35. So
Yeah.
the way of management back then, it was totally different. It was one way, on your face, do as I say. It
Yeah.
worked. People didn't question. People were on time. It worked.
Yeah.
So, but I think as we go through, we evolve, we gain more experience, we evolve. The environment over the last couple of years changed. You
Yes.
know, so yeah.
Well, and speaking of like the environment changing, pre off air, we had kind of talked about this phenomenon that has been coined the Great Resignation, and you kind of have a different spin on that. I want to hear that again. Tell me about that so my listeners can hear that.
Yeah, look, yeah, the great resignation. People call it the great resignation, but I believe it's the great re-evaluation of our values,
Yes.
which leads to say, I'm not going to use the word like screw that. I'm out of here. I had enough of that shit.
Yeah.
And most of the time, when it comes to corporate environment, people refer to their manager.
Right. Yeah.
So, because, for me, leadership, if you were to ask me what is leadership, I would say an effective leader is somebody that gives its people an effective manager, a leader is somebody that it provides its people what they cannot provide for themselves.
Yes. Yeah. I love that.
Because you can look at political leaders, like Nelson Mandela
Mhm.
or Martin Luther King. Sometimes they provide a vision, like I have a dream.
Mhm.
So they give their people what they cannot provide themselves, maybe a vision, maybe a dream. Sometimes if you're a corporate manager, maybe, if you can provide your people with a safe work environment, with good remuneration, with challenges, with training and development, why would they need you?
Right. Right.
That's why the great resignation happening, because we're reevaluating what we want to do.
And I think too, like, I love that you said that, because it reevaluation of what do I want? This is my one life. I have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, especially here in the US. I don't know how it is in the other world, but we're workaholics here. And so when you're working that much, you should really be reevaluating. Does this align with my passion, what I'm enthusiastic about, and be really purposeful and intentional about what you do with your career. And so I never heard, the great reevaluation. I love that spin on it. Thank you for introducing that thought into my world. Because I think whether we are leaving a corporate job and going on our own, staying where we are, and maybe reevaluating, I think that's really important for us to all do right now, but also do throughout our journey. Always be reevaluating, does this align with my purpose and my passion? And if it doesn't, evaluate how you can get it to. Do you help? Is that a part of your leadership training? Sorry to cut you off.
No. I mean, and there is nothing wrong. We have to understand that some people that just want a job, they just want a salary and a job, and there is nothing wrong. Fantastic. You enjoy it, enjoy your weekend. But when it comes to, managing people, maybe you're watching this and you are a corporate leader, or maybe you have a small company, 2 to 3, 5 people. Maybe you have a small restaurant or a small coffee shop. Like, are your people feeling secure? Mm-hmm. And what do I mean? Like a feeling of well-being. For example, am I safe? Do I have the means to provide for myself and my dependents? This is one of the most basic needs. And we all need to feel secure and safety. Like, do I have a roof over my head? Am I financially secure? And that doesn't mean keeping people if they don't perform. That doesn't mean you have to keep them because of that. But are the people that working with you feeling kind of emotionally secure?
Right.
And it's not easy. I understand, it's not easy because everything kind of changed remote in a couple of months. If you remember March 2020, I think it was the month where the most lockdowns happened globally.
Yeah, especially here.
So, so like I was in Asia, I think it was 17th of March. Mm-hmm. And another thing is, are your people feeling connected? What I don't mean connected, I mean like, are they even for the introverted people that they like to work completely alone, even those people, they have a feeling that of worth within my work or within my social community. And I think, as you said, the great resignation, people, ask themselves, is what I do worthy? How do I contribute? So it goes, I mean, we can analyze it, and I think it goes quite deep, even into the way that companies now should redesign jobs to provide people a feeling of worthiness.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and worthiness, comes back down to what you value. There's a lot of alignment there. I love that. And so when it comes to like the coaching world's huge. There's a lot of coaches, at least in the US and UK, Canada. I see coaches popping up everywhere, which I love. Yes. And I love that it's becoming more acceptable that a coach can be in very different facets, right? You can have a financial coach, you can have a leadership coach, you can have a money mindset coach, right? All of these different valuable coaches. And what I see in the world of coaching, the coaches that are thriving is that they're bleeding their why and bleeding the passion that they have that comes from that depth, that foundation, into their marketing and their branding. How have you done that with Executive Coach Asia? And how do people recognize this giving mentality and this passion from the get-go when they experience you?
Hey, look, I don't like to brag about myself. No, I mean, look, I think, look, we live, this is what I believe, right? We live in the era of information. So if anything you need, you just go on YouTube, how to lead a team, how to manage myself, how to become financially secure. Now, there is nothing wrong with that, but information is what the word says. You're in the formation. Coaching, and what I do, I suppose, is transformation.
Yeah.
You can read a book, you can attend the seminar, you can watch YouTube, but all this is left brain. Mm-hmm. So it means most people, they don't know how to implement. They just get a hype, they get excited, but then life is busy and they forget about it. So, but coaching with transformation is the coach. The coach's most, I think, important job for the coachee is a coach keeps you accountable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if I want, let's say I want to become, I want to learn how, let's say I want to learn how to play tennis.
Okay.
Practically, I don't need a coach because I can buy a book. I'm sure there is a yellow book, for dummies,
Yeah.
that book, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I can watch YouTube videos, or, I can, yeah, but I don't know where, but if I really want to not really compete on a professional level, but be able to play in a good, even in an amateur way, if I want to play with my friends or something, I would need a coach,
Yes.
because a coach will push me, will challenge me, will transform me, and will keep the most important thing is keep you accountable. Like, follow up on my homework.
Yeah.
Again, there are books out there you can read, you can watch YouTube videos, but the accountability and the transformation is not there, because everything is left brain. Most people who don't know how to implement things unless we have somebody to coach us and train us
Yeah. And keep us accountable.
and keep us accountable. Yes, and transform us. I think this is the most important. One of the is information, and transformation is different.
Yes, I love that. And it's so lacking, even for myself, right? True millennial, right? College procrastinated every essay until the last day it's due, right? Right before it's due. That accountability is always what I'm looking for when I'm personally looking for any sort of program. And so I love that you recognize that, and that information transformation, kind of what's the difference. And this is really where I bring what I bring to the table. I also often say, somebody can say, here's the 400-page manual to life. It's got every answer you'll ever need in this manual. Here you go. But to me, like, you don't really know what's in this manual. And are you going to spend the time to read all 400 pages? No. But if I say, here's a blank binder, and together we're going to slowly build out all 400 pages, you're going to have so much more knowledge of whatever this binder is for, whether it's learning tennis, life, being an executive, and leading properly, right? Leading with passion, and leading from the top, right? That doesn't happen if you just give them the information. It's that transformation as you go along. I love that. That is such a great way to think of it. Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
And I think in when it comes to coaching, leadership, and management, what I've realized is that most of it has to have it has to do with the behavior of the leader. Like, you see, for example, I just finished a time management engagement 2 days ago, and the client actually is in the US for a nonprofit. He's a leader in a nonprofit organization, and he was overwhelmed, messed up, replying on emails at 3 o'clock in the morning. Time management. He said, I need to get myself organized. And at the end, when we finished the 3 months engagement, 12 session, I asked him, I can't say name, you know what I mean? Because of,
It's
yeah.
fine.
I said, I'm just going to make up a name. John, what is the biggest takeaway of, our 3 month relationship and engagement? And he said, it's the fact that actually my time management wasn't that bad. It was my belief that I am bad. It was my belief that I am bad, that I am bad in time management, actually. So it
Yeah.
was my limiting belief that were holding me back.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
when it comes to leadership and management, like with, in that kind of niche, behavioral transformation is happening in most of the times, like 8 out of 10. It's not really, leaders and managers. It's not like technically to know how to do things, but limiting beliefs. Like, for example, I don't trust anybody to do the interviews.
Hmm.
Well, you can reframe that. You cannot reframe. Actually, you cannot delete limiting beliefs. I believe, Steph, if you have a limiting belief, you will always have it.
Yeah.
You will always have it. You cannot take. I cannot. I cannot delete your memory and your past experience from your life.
Okay.
So your limiting belief will always be there. But yes, I don't trust anybody to interview people in my company. But if I hire a new recruiter and I fully train them,
Hmm.
and then I support them, and then I do the interviews, they watch me, they do the interviews, I watch them, and then I provide feedback, and then support and then follow up, the chances are that my interview, I can delegate that task.
Yeah.
But my limiting belief will still be that I don't trust. But do I stay with the limiting belief, or do I practically train somebody to become to go to my level, or at least let's say 90% of my level?
Yeah. So your limited belief will never be gone, but you can learn to, dare I say the word, cope and learn to get still have that and learn to get beyond it and train that it can still exist, but you can still function with it and learn to get not over it, but overcome it in some ways.
Yes, in personal life as well. Like, if someone cheats on you, you will always believe that everyone is a cheater. Yes, it could be right. Your limiting belief will be there, but maybe next time when you go on a date, you should take a different approach and ask different questions, and I don't know, you get my idea.
Yes. Yeah. No.
And hopefully by the time that comes, maybe with a new person, your limiting belief maybe will be there, but your trust will be now different because it was kind of eliminated, and now you understand that not everyone is a cheater.
Yes.
It was an isolated case.
Very, very interesting. So if somebody wants to work with you, what's the best? I'm going to have in our show notes your website, so a link to be able to access you. But what is a good segue into starting with you and working with you? What sort of offer?
They need to visit me. They need to visit me wherever. No, I'm joking.
Hey,
I'm joking.
Look at your little island. Looks beautiful. I think that everyone would love to visit you.
Look, maybe we can do another video in a couple of months' time. I will probably doing it from the beach because I'm going to be working remotely from Greece.
Yes.
From July, August, September. So yeah, the best way is online. I'm quite active on LinkedIn. We are connected on LinkedIn, but I do, if your audience, if you like what you hear, and I'd love to work with you. And if you think there is a fit, let's jump on a discovery introductory call. You have the link. You can share it with your audience. Absolutely. I will get to know them. They will get to know me. They will tell me their challenge. If I think I can help them, I will offer them a solution. If I cannot help them, we'll just stay friends, or maybe I will refer them to somebody else. It's a 30 minutes. It's complimentary. Worst come to worst, we just get to know each other.
Yes, I love that. Well, thank you, Evan, so much for coming on the show. I hope everyone listening got a ton of great value. Like I said, in the show notes, we'll have Evan's website, and we will see you in the next episode. Steph here. Thank you so much for listening to the Passion on Purpose Leaders on Center Stage podcast. If you are a successful business owner and you lead your business with passion, we'd love to feature you on our show. We'd love to share with the world what makes your business great and how you have intentionally led passion throughout your business. Also, if you got any value or little tidbits from this episode, please take a minute to screenshot the episode and share it on your favorite social media platform. Be sure to tag us so we can properly thank you, and we love deepening our connection with our listeners. We are regularly putting out new episodes to feature leaders such as yourself who lead with passion on purpose. So be sure to subscribe to our show so you don't miss any future episodes. For more episodes, guest information, or details on the show, please visit getvim.com/passion on purpose. That's getvim.com/passion on purpose. Once again, I'm Steph. I am the owner and creative director at Vim, and thank you for listening to the show.